never like, 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 never let you.
Hi, I'm Gerald Robinson, and welcome to 60 is the New 40. You're probably wondering what 60 in the New 40 is all about. Well, I reached the age of 60, but I feel 40. So my goal is to present a framework for you for some areas of personal development that I believe have enhanced my professional growth and my personal growth and my vitality. Trust me, life is different at 60. So get your pen and paper together, and let's talk after this commercial break.
Taking the chance, stuck in my head, not gonna leave it at that. Taking the lead, feeling your heat, just wanna give you my best. I don't even know your name, but you got me, cause you're old to die. We don't know what happens next, but you got me, cause I'm next in line. You make it look so easy, making me feel so dreamy. Not the one who pays for drinks, but you got me, cause you're old to die. Got me locked in now. Go ahead and take a shot. Do you really want me? Maybe you're just...
Hi, I'm Gerald Robinson, and welcome back to 60 is the New 40. We're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to invite into this conversation today the founder and CEO of the 5 F's to Love is Christine Burkett. Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's going on, Gerald?
Not much. What's going on with you?
I'm going to say thank you so much for coming on to the 5 F's to Love Network. I'm really excited about having you here with us on this network. I think you have a lot to offer. You've been living a healthy life for over 30 years. And I say it to you all the time, at 60, you look amazing. And I think you should share all your secrets. So I'm here to learn like everybody else. I'm not 60. We're going to keep it real. Just because I've known it for 30 years don't mean I'm 60. But I would be a hot 60, though. I'm going to go with that. But I think that a lot of times people are looking at you in this moment thinking that it just happened. But it's not too late. And we do want to say that it's not too late for you to get on track. So you know me, I'm going right in because I need to know the secrets. This hour goes by fast. And I hope everybody, grab their pen and paper like what you said, and they're ready to pay attention and join this conversation. So my first question to you is, we look at the demographic of people being impacted by high blood pressure. What's that demographic looking like?
Well, unfortunately, it's in the Black adult community, we're at 55%. So 55% of Black adults have high blood pressure. That's amazing. Wow. I mean, you're sitting in a room with 10 people, 5 of them have high blood pressure. That's a high number.
Wow.
Also in the white community as well, they're 48%. So that number is fairly high as well. So high blood pressure is a huge thing that's happening here in the U.S. We have the Asian community. Asian communities at 46%. Hispanic community is at 39%. So high blood pressure is a huge thing in the U.S.
So, a lot of times we correlate high blood pressure just with African Americans, but based on the data you shared, that's not a fact. And I know for me, I know it's not a fact because my homeopathic guy is Asian, Japanese, Chinese, Asian, and he has high blood pressure. And we talked about it one day and he says, no, we have the same issues as African Americans. And I was shocked because I didn't associate that culture with high blood pressure at the rate or the level that he was saying it was at. So that's shocking.
I hope he's watching the show. That way, hopefully he can learn a few things here. Because it's important. it's important
think
you better
it is
have to
watching.
be involved in these. You know, your better half kind of helps out. It really makes a
Right.
difference. Partner really needs to be involved with all this. It's not just yourself. You need a motivator. So part of this podcast, I want to be like your life coach. So I want you to tune in on these things. So I'm going to give some homework to you near the end, you know, so you come back in and tell me that, you know what, I did my homework. I went, took care of the little project that I put out there for you. So.
Okay, Gerald, I think that'll be great. I think if people look at doing just a little bit every day
Correct.
to live a healthier life, the impact of it, and people think it's such a great shift. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's really not. I mean, I haven't eaten meat probably in over 20 years.
Wow.
There's sometimes when I'll be honest with you, I really want that burger, but I go to one place to get the burger where I know it's like 98% lean. It's not a lot of fat. It's like a really good burger. And I'm like, I just need one because that kid in me misses that, right? But the thing is, I don't do it a lot. So I think people need to understand is you got to pay attention to what you're putting in.
Exactly. Deprivation, never do that. Never deny yourself that. Because the things I'm going to talk about here today is just something that we try to do, you know, at least 6 or 7 out of the, 6 out of the 7 days, at least do these things. Or maybe, I mean, right away, you may not do it right away. So at least give me 2, give me 3, give me 4. We're going to work into trying to make it 7 days a week. So it's a process. Trust me. I didn't just jump off and do it. There were some bumps and bruises along my way. So.
And that's the one thing that I think people understand. I know there's some myths around high blood pressure that are out there. And so can you share some of the things that people, it's like a big myth?
Sure. One of the biggest myths out there, if your family has it, you're going to have it. Well, guess what? If you eat like your family, you're not going to have it. So change your eating habits. So you all guys are sitting down at the table eating the very same things, high sodium. You know, you should only have 23 milligrams of sodium a day. That's a recommended amount of sodium you should have. That's not a lot of sodium at all.
Okay, so Joe, I'm going to pick at you. Okay, my life is extremely busy. I run 3 different companies. I'm not running around measuring salt, especially when a lot of us are out eating at restaurants. More often than I care to say, like, I don't eat at a lot of restaurants, and people may look at me and think, oh, I do, but I don't. I pre-pack my lunch, and I bring a lot of things with me so I can eat throughout the day. And when I do go to a restaurant, I choose salad all the time because I want to make sure I'm not eating bad, right? So what do you suggest when we're out? Because our kids are out, we're out, everybody's out at restaurants.
Right, of course. And what happens at the restaurants, that's mainly where you get all your sodium from, is the restaurants. They cook that way. They cook that way to touch your palate. So that way you can get that taste. Order your food with no salt. I know that sounds like, wait a minute, no way.
Okay, Gerald, stop playing. You tell me black folks.
You put the salt.
All these black folks don't order food with no salt.
In your food, you put the salt on. That's all.
So what you're saying is don't let them put it in, but you put it in.
That is correct. Exactly.
Okay.
You know,
so you're saying that way, you know. Now people, y'all probably like me. Gerald talking about 23 grams. We gonna take and just put it on there. But I'm gonna say this is real talk. I don't use salt at all, period. I haven't used it since I was a kid.
Okay.
I'm not a big salt person. But I will say this is funny. People turn me on to hot sauce. I love a hot sauce now. I don't know what's happening. Okay. I don't want to get into it too much, but I do like it on my feta and spinach omelets. I love hot sauce.
Did you check the sodium content?
Yeah, but that's why I said I only eat it when I'm eating the omelet, which is not often.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you definitely want to read your labels, and we'll get into that later because a few of the things I want to show you this claim is healthy. And if you read the labels,
they're not healthy. So are you getting ready, George? You get ready to clean out my pantry when we go into segment 2? Because I'm going to get upset about that. You are?
Sure. Well,
okay. Well, let me just I'm going to tell the viewers, I'm going to be upset just like you are because I think I see some stuff back there that's in my pantry. I don't know if I'm going to like it. So, Joe, let me ask you, how's your body impacted when you have high blood pressure? And folks, he's not a medical doctor. We're just speaking in terms of information that's publicly out there. But when you think about high blood pressure, how are, what's the impact on your body?
Doing my research, believe it or not, high blood pressure, it can sneak up on you. Sometimes you won't get any symptoms at all. Other people get symptoms like women, they'll get symptoms, they'll have headaches, they'll get pain, they'll get a pain in their jaw or a numbness on their side. Men don't normally get that. And that's what actually is a solid killer. The next thing you know, you kind of say, oh, it's just a headache or it's just a slight pain. And next thing you know, your arteries are getting clogged up and then bam, it just hits you. So that's why they actually call it a solid killer.
Wow. Well, I'm going to tell you, I think a couple things. So, high blood pressure runs in my family.
Mhm.
It's what you consider hereditary, but I don't have it. I do know of other people in my family who do have it, and I think it is directly related to the way that I eat. I
Okay.
don't eat a lot of crap. I eat a lot of natural foods, foods from the ground, from the earth, whatever you want to call it. Now people look at me and say she doesn't look earthy. But I recycle. I'm really big on that stuff. But I'm really about focusing on making sure I eat well. And I think a lot of times when you're impacted by health issues earlier on, you pay more attention to what goes in your body. And I'm not going to say I don't eat ice cream. I don't have the occasional piece of cake, but it's not as often as it should. And I think that's the whole thing when you were saying you got to limit. We're not saying cut everything out, but you got to minimize the impact that you're putting on your body with. If you can't have mac and cheese every weekend and have like a Thanksgiving dinner every Sunday, that just doesn't work.
Exactly.
Right?
Just moderation. That's basically what you're saying. Just things in moderation. That's all. We're not saying you can't have it at all. We're just saying moderation. If you're just cutting it back 2 or 3 times, just add that over the year period. It's huge.
Okay.
So start cutting those things back. At least commit me a couple days out of the week that you can cut back on that sodium. When you go out to restaurants or you're packing your food or whatever, watch it. Seasoned salt. Seasoned salt seems to be the favorite thing.
Oh, I thought you were just picking at me about taking my stuff to a restaurant because I do that, by the way. I do sometimes. But it's okay. I think that you need to look at the benefit, your health benefits for you, and making sure that you're where you need to be and not be so caught up. So I'm going to say, like for you, Gerald, this has been like a long-term journey tracking your health and looking at the impact, because I think a lot of times earlier on, you probably weren't this cautious about what you were eating because you were younger. Your metabolism was just burning, right?
I was younger. I was playing ball. I was very athletic. I was busy. So I was burning a lot of sugar and salt. So you're burning that salt. So, if you're out there moving around, then of course you're going to burn it. Of course, now I'm 60, slow down just a little bit. So guess what? I need to definitely pay attention to my eating. I'm still active, but not as active as I was before.
Okay, well, guys, when we get back, we're going to look at what would he recommend are the staples in your kitchen, because when you start making smoothies, it's not something you should be doing just because you saw Gerald doing it, but it's something that he's recommending you try every day. So we're going to look at the staples of the items you should have in your kitchen. And of course, he's already told you he's going to be throwing some things out. Folks, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Need it all. Do you want it though? Where do I begin? I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win. Think the deposits, I got more coming in. Top down, throw the money in the wind. I don't want it all. Heard he scammer, had to switch up the accounts. Moving paper, gotta call it my account. It's all in, I can't have it coming out. Been through the struggle, I can see another drought. Yeah, it's not a purse, it's a merge. 6 figures was a goal, now it's 9 or a hearse. Put it work. Used to pull up, not swerve. No time for the snakes, time to put them in the dirt. That's word. I gotta get it, it's in my DNA. You only see the highlights, don't know what it takes. Last year stressing, got no sleep. Now I'm right between the courts, out of nosebleeds. I see the hate, they don't wanna see me win.
Hey guys, welcome back to 60 is the new 40. And I want to say it's a lot of Gerald's family and friends watching. You guys can always put your comments in the comment section and we will share. We want you to be able to do a shout out to Gerald and give him some support.
Friends,
yeah. Oh yeah, you gotta hootenanny people watching. I want them to know they can put some shout outs and comments And we'll
Oh,
definitely share it. If you're not one of his friends or family, you just want to do a shout out. We share all comments on air, so be sure to submit your comments in our comments section. So, Gerald, I'm going to tell you, I'm getting hungry just looking at your display, and maybe because I haven't eaten, I don't know, but I'm really excited about you cooking. But I know it's not time for the smoothie. I'm revving up to the smoothie.
yeah.
So, we were talking earlier, and one of the things you want to be clear is that there are some staples that people should have in their kitchen just to go make a smoothie that maybe we're assuming they're norms for people, but they may not be norms.
Correct.
So you just want to kind of give like a little cheat sheet to some items. So what are you recommending? Because by the way, folks, I'm going to be taking notes and getting my list together.
I'm a big fan of berries.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of berries, and then also the beets as well. So the beets give you iron. The spinach. So I know you're probably saying, "Wow, we're having all these berries and stuff, and you actually have spinach and beets." And they're like, "Ugh." Believe it or not, once you taste it, it'll be a big difference. Strawberries, that help with the taste too as well. So that'll give you that sugary taste, something a little bit of sweetness. Definitely almond milk. I'm not a fan of whole milk at all. And I read the label, and like I said, if you're a label reader, 2 grams of sugar added to it, and then
Wow.
2 grams by itself, and then 2 additional grams added to regular milk, believe it or not. So those things you have to be careful, especially if you have high blood pressure and also
Right.
high blood sugar levels. So you have to be very careful with that too as well.
Okay, well, Joe, we've got a comment from Anissa. She said, fresh produce is expensive. Any affordable shortcuts that you can recommend?
I don't buy them in the bag. I try not to do the bag stuff if you buy them loose. And if you buy them bagged up already, if they already pre-make them, then yeah, it's a little bit more expensive that way. So I actually get them separate and also get a small amount because you don't eat them up right away. Because I fell into that trap as well. I bought too many, and then next thing you know, they spoil. So just get a small amount at a time and work yourself into the smoothie as well. You know, how often you're going to have the smoothie. I like the smoothie as a meal, not a meal replacement, but an in-between meal. I'm a big 5 meals a day, 5 small meals a day.
Wow.
That helps you as far as your diet is concerned, help you cut a little bit of weight.
Gerald, that's a lot of meals. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm barely making it on 2.
It's really not a lot of meals. It's not at all. Believe it or not, if you fix it yourself, because you just mentioned you fix it.
I do, but I make the breakfast and I make the lunch. The dinner is up in the air. It could happen or not happen.
Well, the dinner is totally different. It's in between meals. That's what the ones you don't fit. Then that's when you go into that restaurant and you ask them not to put any sodium in it. Remember?
Okay. Yeah. All right. So and thank you for that reminder. So the thing is, like, folks, I know for me, I don't know if you have an Aldi's around you. I go to Aldi's a lot. I go to Walmart. I go to the Easter market. You can go when they have the Easter markets open in your area. The produce is a lot less expensive, but is actually a better quality product a lot of times. So I hit those 3 places depending on my schedule, and I do keep a lot of those staples. One thing that I know I need to bulk up on is probably the beets. Why are you referencing the beets?
The beets are for my iron. I just like having
it's for iron.
That's correct. So I like to add the beets in there. It's an antioxidant.
Wow.
So that's why I reference those as well. I started looking at put beets in your diet. I was like, really? I hate beets by itself. Totally hate beets cooked.
100%.
Let me add it to my smoothie. So anything I really don't like eating, plain.
Right.
In here.
Anything, your recommendation, if it's something you don't like eating, independent of anything else, just put it in the blender and put it in a smoothie. Blender,
mix it with all the berries and stuff and your strawberries. Right. Blueberries, blackberries, and it'll make a difference. You won't even really taste it.
Because I know for me, like I like spinach, I like kale and asparagus. A lot of people don't. Right. So that is a good way for you to consume it. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to beef up my game and go ahead and jump into these smoothies. I'm going to add some beets. So what ingredients are you using today for the smoothie?
Well, today I have my strawberries with bananas as well.
Okay, let me ask you a quick question. Why are you using the strawberry banana mix? Is it for flavoring or for something else?
It's going to get mixed up in anyway. I just put it in there together. No big deal. Nothing special about it.
Okay.
Yeah, just mixed into one bowl. That's all.
So is there any pluses or minuses for the strawberries? And the only reason why I'm asking because some people are allergic to strawberries. So can we replace it?
Pull it out. So replace it. Exactly. Pull it out and just don't have it at all. So just eliminate what doesn't work for you. Just eliminate Instead of
Now, does that, so if you, because I guess my question is, if you're using the strawberries and bananas, does that make it sweeter against the beets? And by the way, no, put them in there because I like the color and the color is pretty. But like, beets are not, they're not sweet. They're kind of bitter. So does it help to put some sweeter fruits in there with it?
absolutely correct. That's what I was saying. The berries, the
Okay.
raspberries, blueberries, and the strawberries, that's going to make the difference. Also,
Okay.
spinach is not going to be a good thing to drink either. So you're kind of counteracting that taste of the beets and the spinach. So
Okay, so folks, just to let you know, this recipe will be available in the post on all of our social media sites. So if you want to make this specific smoothie, you can, because we're going to post all of the ingredients with his measurements. As you see, he was like, you need 23 grams of salt. I don't know who's measuring that, but I'm picking at him.
milligrams.
He was so specific about it. 23 grams of salt. Okay.
23 milligrams.
Hey.
I don't want to confuse anyone. 23 milligrams.
23 milligrams. So folks, don't forget that. Gertrude, one of our regular viewers, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Hey, Gertrude. She said, do you use ginger and turmeric in your smoothies?
I use ginger. Actually, I put that in my oatmeal. So you can do that. So I actually have ginger here. So I do that either in my oatmeal, my morning breakfast, which I have back here, either one of my cereals. I'll add the ginger that way. So you can do it that way. I do it in my green teas as well. So yeah, ginger is part of this as well.
Okay, and the other thing is, if you can kind of explain the positive impact of some of the ingredients that you're using. I know we talk about blueberries and antioxidants, but there's actually and that's the reason why I started using more blueberries, because people don't understand the older you get, the more your body breaks down things a little bit differently as far as your digestive tract, but it is actually some additional benefits. It's a difference between natural iron versus a iron pill. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a huge difference in that. So with the ingredients you're using today, what's the positive impact that you might want to offer to some people so they know why they should be using it?
It's help build the energy level as you're getting older. Energy. That's when you start losing your energy as you get a little bit older. So these things will help build the energy. Carbohydrates, they're going to be high on carbohydrates. My recommendation is, because they're high on carbohydrates, you need to have those in the beginning of the day, because obviously carbohydrates turn into fat if you don't use them. So don't have a smoothie late. Any carbohydrates, just don't have those late. Like a lot of foods back here, the rice, right. Don't have those things late. Be careful of that, because if you're not going to burn them, they're going to turn into fat. Then you wonder why you're spinning your wheels as far as the weight loss is concerned.
Okay, so that's great what you just said. So with you, like I said, you've been working out for like over 30 years. Mm-hmm. So you take your heavier meals earlier in the day and not later in the day.
Correct, exactly. And if I'm training, it depends. I mean, I've lost 30 pounds, so losing my weight was this. So I'll add the protein and more protein into it. As you can see here, I have the eggs. I do the raw eggs. Right. You add more protein. So if you're building the bulk up, then you're doing that. But if you want those Angela Bassett arms, you're still going to need protein.
Okay, everybody, he's really talking to me because we had a discussion that I got a girl crush on Angela Bassett, and my goal is to have Angela Bassett arms. So, and just to let you guys know, Gerald is going to be starting his YouTube channel with 15 to 20-minute workouts, things that you can do every day, with things that you have in your home or specific weights and things that you can do. So that's one of the things he said to me. He says, Chris, you need to have these weights by your desk. You're at your desk all the time. Mm-hmm. You can do these exercises in between phone calls. And I'm going to tell you, Gerald, although, we don't talk every day, I've been following instructions, by the way, and it has been making a difference. So like you said, it takes, like, in 6 months, I will have Angela Bassett arms. Sure, but if you're expecting to have Angela Bassett arms overnight, it's not going to happen.
Right. And if you're not consistent, I'm always put the consistency in there. I mean, if you're doing it once a week, you may see a result maybe in a couple of years, but I need 3 days out of the week minimum, for you to do those exercises. And we'll talk we'll talk about that in the YouTube channel. We'll also talk about it on this. Part of the podcast, we'll do workouts as well. So we'll go down in the gym and I'll show you some routines that you can work out in the house. You don't even need weights. You can just use some canned goods, but we'll get into all that.
And guys, I want you to know, when Gerald talks about health, he's sharing his life experience, things that he's been doing over the past 30 years or more. And it's really kind of shifted how he feels every day. We have these conversations about what's good energy, right? And so a good energy drink, guys, to have would be this, because it's going to give you that extra boost. So maybe you don't need it in the morning, But Gerald, can they pre-make this and take it to work with them?
Sure, you can pre-make it. A lot of times I make
Okay.
enough for two, so that way I can pack it away. Because you were just mentioning earlier, like you don't have time to do all this, and that was one of the things I was going to mention to you earlier. You talked about time, just pre-make things. You know, my little containers back here, pre-made meals. So just have some pre-made things, you can just grab them. If you happen to be a refrigerator, you know, at your office or something, put the little stuff, little cold stuff, little chicken salad away, you know, a little bit of tuna away, and just have that. Just a little portion of it, just that in between meal, or just put your smoothie in there. That's all.
And that's a good thing. So thank you, McWin. I think it's Merle. It says the timing of meals is the key. And that is so true. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. That is the key. And I'm going to say something that you said to me earlier on. You said, Christine, pre-make. And guess what I did? The very next day, I took a picture and sent it to you and said, see, I do listen. Even though I'm really busy, I made my vegetable tray. I pre-made my other stuff for the day. And I was like, feeling like a rock star, right? But guess what? It reduced my time because all I had to do was go to the refrigerator and grab it. It totally reduced my time. So you were right. And I was eating healthy.
It's the very thing I hear all the time. When people start doing it, you start feeling good about yourself. Then you start policing yourself. You're like, okay, I won't have that donut. I've been working too hard. You know, there's no way I'll have that carrot. You know, back in the day, you would have never said I had a carrot over a donut. Never.
I'm going to be clear. I grabbed that carrot because I was working out on my arms, and I do it every day now. It's just like a timer goes off. And by the way, people, if you're anything like me, I use a timer, and a timer says water. The timer will say water and lemon. The timer will say hot tea. The timer will say, Christine, 10-10. 10-10 means 10 because, you know, you got to do your, he tells me you can do anything in 10 to 20. So that means take 10 minutes to do 10 reps each, right? So that's what I'm saying. So you got to start small and go big, okay? So listen, guys, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, but I'm going to tell you in this next segment, you don't want to miss it. Gerald's making that smoothie. And I'm going to tell you, this is one of those times, Gerald, I wish I was live so I can sip some of it, right? But we're going to see how the smoothie, I know it's going to be great. And I'm personally going to make this for myself tomorrow. So guys, and I'm posting. So I hope you post your smoothies on all of our social media sites so you'll know that Gerald smoothie is awesome and it's going to give you a lot of energy and it's going to help you with your high blood pressure. And if not high blood pressure, it's going to give you amazing glow to your skin. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Look at me, I'm on. 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 Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going. Can't stop, keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Hold up. Yeah. I'm chasing the bag, I'm racing the clock. Look at them block, watching them flop. Used to see this in my sleep. When I ain't had shit on my thoughts in the car, I really was lost. Now I'm public with the soundscapes. Niggas floss, I'm really pulling strings for the pound cake. I see you went for a puppet in the clown face for a little wage. That shit, the talk of the town is late. Still me, I never switch sides. Came a long way with the gas tank running on fume. We know what you made of. I do better offline, yeah. I've been calling to a God. I'm in tune with the signs. I'm just trying to let go. I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to do fine. Moon landed with the elevation, Armstrong with the levitation. My third eye needed calibration. I was heat rock when I notated. I've been going crazy. Stone face when I kill beat, leaving no trace on location.
Broken future. All the plans you made in your heart grew just to die.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Gerald, I'm excited. Like, I can't wait. I wish I was there. But before we go any further, I just want to say a special shout out to my associate producer, who is Gerald's fiance. I love her. Hi, Donna. She has been working with us behind the scenes, pulling all of this together. And folks, she's at home sick. That's the only reason why you don't see her. But next Friday when he comes on, we're going to have her dip in. She's an amazing woman, and I really appreciate all her support because this guy is rock star. And so I just want to say thank you, Donna. Okay, so look, Gerald, listen, this smoothie is awesome. I'm ready to get started. So let's get through this process because, honey, we're taking notes. We're ready.
All right, pretty simple. I'm gonna go ahead because I like my.
Oh my God! Wait, Donna said something. Look, is that Donna? Thank you, Donna.
Awesome.
Hey guys, be sure to like if while he's putting this together, be sure to like us on any social media site that you're watching us on, and be sure to share out with other people. Our goal is to make sure that our minority community is living a healthier life and a longer life. That's the whole purpose, and that's the reason why he's here. He's like the genie in the bottle. So hit us with your secret, Joe. What do you got?
All right, as I was saying before, for protein, I put the eggs in. I do 2 eggs. You can substitute that with a protein powder. So if you're a person that doesn't eat eggs, there's your substitute right there as a protein powder.
Okay.
A lot of people use regular milk. As I was saying earlier, regular milk has a lot of sugar in it. As you can see, almond milk, 0 sugar, only one gram of protein in it, as far as that's concerned, and 1 gram of carbohydrate. So
Gerald, quick question. If you're lactose intolerant, you can use the almond or the soy milk as a substitute?
Absolutely correct. Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. It's a good point. So I do 2 cups.
And by the way, everybody, you see how he measures? You know, I just want to say, if you don't go to the Dollar Tree. Don't let girls stress you out.
Right.
Go to the Dollar Tree and get your stuff.
That's a great point because I do measure everything, and I'm going to tell you why.
Yes.
Because first of all, everybody's body's different. Their weight's different. I mean, I'm 200 plus pounds. I mean, you're 1 some pounds, so you have to.
Did you do that? Did you do that? Ooh, Donna, get him. I can't get him, Donna. Get him.
You need to judge that based off your weight. So,
Get
anyway.
him, Donna, later. Did you do the whoop?
2/3 I already measured it out, so I just used the 2/3 as far as the fruits are concerned.
So what is that you're putting in?
I'm putting, this is the raspberries.
Okay.
And
how many raspberries? Did you count them out?
Yeah, I did. They were roughly between 15 to 16.
Okay, 15 to 16
Same with
raspberries.
The blueberries.
Okay, 15 to 16 blueberries. Okay.
16. Blueberries going to be a little bit more because they're a little bit smaller.
Okay.
I just measured out. I just scooped it out and measured it out to the 2/3. And this saves on cost too. You're not wasting it.
Okay.
So it's important.
It does.
Dollar Tree and all that. Yeah, it's absolutely fine because I get my mixed, my frozen fruit from there. $1.25. It's perfect. I go with my other bananas, strawberries.
Okay, so wait, did you cut up an entire banana or half a banana?
Half the banana.
Okay.
I did half the banana.
And how many strawberries?
Strawberries were roughly about 8. It was about eight of those.
8 strawberries.
About 8.
And then how many beets did you just put in?
And the beets were like 6, and I counted those for sure. There were 6.
Okay.
It says a pinch. Well, you have to judge your pinch as far as spinach is concerned. My hands are a little bit bigger, so you have to judge pinch on how much spinach you actually want to put in here. And it depends on how much iron you want to have. And you can use a double pinch. It's just totally up to you. You judge it. You judge actually how you're going to like it. So you just
So are you saying that bowl? Can you show us the bowl? That's a pinch. That's like a whole handful for me. I got a little hand.
That's my pinch. That's what I was saying. That's my pinch.
What is that? Okay. It's like a whole handful.
That's the very statement I was making, is that you need to judge off your hand size. And there we go. So they're all mixed in. Hold on, we're not done yet. And we have the yogurt. I'll do the Greek yogurt. So the Greek.
Okay, so I got a question. So
be careful with the yogurts because the yogurt has a lot of sugar in them, high in sugar. This one only has 2 grams of sugar in it. So that makes it.
It only has 2 grams. Okay, so a person who's lactose intolerant, like myself, you're suggesting like a Greek yogurt?
I'm suggesting a Greek yogurt, correct?
Okay.
Yep. And of course, it's a cup of this.
Are you sticking the cup in there?
I am. Since I'm making it for myself, it's fine.
Okay. Well, folks, use a spoon. Don't. Because Gerald just at home making it for himself. You can tell he does this a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm scooping it.
If I happen to lick my finger, sorry, because I'm making it for myself. Now I won't do that.
Okay, you won't do it? Okay. Look, you're in the kitchen making it for yourself, so no judgment coming from me. If I was in my kitchen, I would do it. This is like really exciting.
It takes just a little bit longer only because of the spinach.
Okay.
The spinach. I personally let the spinach thaw out because I get frozen spinach.
Right.
I get frozen spinach, so I let everything thaw out. Same way with my frozen fruit, so I let everything thaw out. So that way it mixes up well. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Nice.
Okay, so while you're scooping that up for yourself, Joe, I want to ask you, what are the various health outcomes for men with high blood pressure? How does this impact men specifically?
Well, fatigue with men, high blood pressure, a lot of things change. And you wonder why, and women get it as well, but men don't end up feeling fatigue. Also, it affects a lot of things as far as the energy level. So they may do things, but let's just don't have the energy to do it. The fatigue part of it to me is just you're just out of it. Period. Completely. You're wondering what's going on with you. So that's again a sign that you need to get your blood pressure checked.
Okay, but Gerald, let's do real talk. It's got to be affecting their sex life.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you beat me to it, Chris. I know you jumped right into that one. I know you're right into all that. That's why you wanted to hear that part from a man. So here we go. And it affects, if a man has ED, that's the first thing you need to do is take him to the doctor and find out if he has blood issues. Okay, so that's exactly where I was going to go with that next, is that you need to be careful and find out, wait a minute, there's something going on here. At 60, things change in your life. Right. You're just older. No, check your blood pressure, check your blood sugar. Those are the things will affect you. So if he's having ED issues, as the partner, you need to take him to the doctor.
And I just want to say this too: erectile dysfunction happens sometimes in your 40s.
Sure.
And I will say this: that a really good friend of mine, when she got married in her late 30s, her husband had ED problems, and guess what? He had high blood pressure.
Correct. Yep.
In his 30s, he was having problems. So ladies, I'm going to say this to you. Like, I know I joke and I play a lot of times when it comes to being very clear about that part of the body being functional. But what I will say this is that why don't you find out what he's eating and find out whether or not he has high blood pressure before you push the button? Because a lot of times you can change his diet. And so I'll say this, like with my mom, she changed my dad's diet completely. And he still, my dad had prostate cancer, but I will say this, his high blood pressure, it went down considerably because she changed the way he was eating. So these little things do add up. So I just want to make sure we're clear and we're paying attention. And while you're doing that, Gerald TNT says, looking good, Christine, keep up the good work. Gerald, bruh, you're necessary. Good guy. So thanks a lot for tuning in with us. That's Tim from Real Talk with the Men. Okay. Thanks a lot, Tim. We appreciate your support. And so, Gerald, first, let me just say this. You're not cleaning up after you make your smoothie. What's going on with that? No, I'm only kidding you. I'm teasing about your bowl still being out. I'm just that's a woman thing. I'm just teasing about the bowls.
Well, if I wasn't on here, I normally clean up behind myself. So
you do? Yeah. Okay, so I see where you put the smoothie in there. So right now, if I made that for tomorrow, you're telling me just stick that in the freezer or the fridge?
Well, it depends. If you don't have a fridge where you're going, just put it in the freezer. That way, it thawed out, it'll stay cold.
Okay, so you can't just stick it in the freezer.
No, you can't stick it in the freezer. That's correct. But you see, like getting something to measure it out. So that's 16. So I'm 16 ounces. So I'm not having 16 ounces of it today. If that makes sense.
Okay, see, it does make sense.
We'll probably have enough for another 16 ounces. So I made enough for 2. But I'm going to have this tonight. And then pour the rest of it in here and put it in the refrigerator. So I'll have it for tomorrow.
Okay. So let me take a look at what you have back there on the counter. And folks, he just made this amazing smoothie, and I would love for all of us to be able to taste it. But if we follow his instructions, outside of that pinch, his hand pinch is not our pinch. It's my whole hand. That was a handful. But I like spinach. So for me, I would do it anyways, right? So, Joe, what do you have behind you that you're saying that, our yeses or nos as far as health issues? So let me see what you have on the counter.
So let's start with breakfast. With breakfast, I always like either having a shredded wheat.
Okay.
Shredded wheat as well, Cheerios as well, or oatmeal. And of course, I'm adding my fruits to those as well, another antioxidant. And also it's going to change the flavor. So that way you have a little bit sweeter taste. Of course, I use an almond milk too as well.
Okay.
When I do the cereals, I add a little bit more banana because it sweetens it up a little bit more. So you kind of play with that. You play with your palate, and just depends on what you actually like. Just be careful.
Okay.
I bought this one, and
Or can you bring it in? We can't see it. Bring it in for me.
It's in the healthy section.
Oh, what is that? Great grains?
That's correct. But guess what?
What?
40 grams of carbohydrate, 13 grams of sugar. 13 grams of sugar and 13 grams of sugar for a quarter cup. That's a little bit of, you made it clean up, but that was almost a quarter cup there.
Okay.
So you're probably putting it in here.
In the bowl.
3, right. You're probably putting 3 of those in there. So you need to multiply that by 3. Not good for you at all.
Okay, so I'm gonna do I'm really happy to see that I'm eating well in the morning. My biggest thing is oatmeal, and then I love Cheerios, and I always use fruit. So far so good. My pantry's not being trashed.
Shredded wheat's the best though.
I'm not big on the shredded wheat though.
No.
I'll work up to it. I promise I'll add it. Just because you recommended it, I'll add it.
Okay. Throughout the day snack, I like the sunflower seeds.
Okay, I do like a sunflower seed. I'll give you that.
Little snack, something you'll grab. And you can go to Dollar Tree, to Dollar Tree, and they have those little things, little containers. You can put that stuff in. So it helps you measure it out. You can actually take it with you. So it simplifies things for you. Because like you were saying, everybody's busy. Yeah, you're busy. Right. Take the evening wherever
So you're saying take the time to do the meal prep.
Take your time for the meal prep.
Okay.
Take your time for that. One thing I forgot it was back there, and I apologize. I normally put this in my smoothies. Is flaxseed.
Flaxseed, and I actually have flaxseed.
Right, exactly right. So you already have that in your cabinet?
Yeah, I do.
So I don't have to worry about throwing that out. So that's good.
That's one thing I'm not throwing out is the flaxseed.
One thing I like to do, I like to keep around a tray. You keep a tray of carrots and all that around. I know you do that with a container, but I like, and I've gotten to the point where I keep that around there.
Show us your tray again. Show us your tray. Guys, he made me feel so bad. I start making my own vegetable trays. Like now I have them every day.
So I do it.
I love it. Yeah. And but the thing with Joe, what you're saying is like I cut up peppers and put them on my food tray with some carrots and different things. Sure. And like the sauce that I use, my dipping sauce is a little spicy.
Okay, which is fine because you're backing off on other areas, so that's fine.
Right.
The same way with this ranch, the ranch is a little bit higher in things, but because I backed off on other things, I'm allowed to have it. It's okay. And
so my girlfriend cooks. She loves hummus. She loves it. So for her, she can make a vegetable tray and just dip it in the hummus.
Okay, that sounds.
That's good. That's a good to go. That's still healthy, right?
That definitely sounds good.
Okay.
Forgiver was asking about the ginger. So the ginger, I use that either in my tea. I'll mix that up in my tea. So
that was Gertrude. She asked about the turmeric and the ginger.
Right. Yep. So I use my green tea too as well, another antioxidant. So just definitely clean your system out. Like one of the things that I didn't mention, we didn't talk about, is you really need to detox. You need to detox yourself. And another thing we didn't mention earlier, go see your doctor initially. Go talk to your doctor, get all your blood work taken care of, and then start these things. You need to find out where the starting point is before you start. So
that's a great suggestion. Get your blood work done.
Yeah, get your blood work done. So that's actually, and I'm probably ahead of myself, and that's going to probably be your homework assignment. So the next time.
I'm going to tell you, Gerald, my blood work says I'm 25 years old. That's what my blood work says.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but my body is saying straight up 60.
Well, that's an energy thing now. That means you need to start working out a little bit more. The treadmill.
It looks healthy, and we're going to talk about that in the last segment. Like it looks healthy. Exactly. And we'll put together. But let me tell you, I tried to do 30 minutes on a treadmill. I thought I was going to pass out. 30 minutes.
Then I do 15.
That's what I did.
But we'll get into all that in the training part of it when we do the training.
I look forward to it because next week is next week a workout? Are we doing workouts next week?
Next week's relationships, love.
Oh, it's relationships. Okay, I can't wait till we get to the workout podcast because I'm going to rewatch those on YouTube every day.
Exactly. So like I said, I'll give you 15 minute, workout.
Okay.
It depends on work on your arm, Angela Bassett arms. You want to do chest, shoulders, back. So you want to wear that strapless dress. Your back looks decent.
And you know what, Gerald? I don't mind you picking me. The guys picking me all night on Thursday, and I'm okay with that. But you know what? when this summer hits and I'm celebrating my birthday in June and my back and my arms are looking like Angela Bassett, I'm gonna make sure that everybody knows this is a Gerald Robinson thing right here. I mean, like, this is the Robinson effect.
I know what you're shooting for. You hear it all the time. They want the Angela Bassett arms and Angela Bassett back. So I know exactly what you're shooting for. So
yes,
we'll get you there.
And but the thing is, this is a part of it as well. It's not just me working out, it's what I'm putting into my body. And like you said, the detoxing, which is something that I did. I went and I met with my doctor first. We looked at, like I'm low in iron. So that's why you need to go, because I'm deficient in iron.
Okay.
I need to increase my protein. And my biggest thing was I wanted to make sure, and nothing, I'm not bragging, I want to make sure my skin stayed flawless. That was really big for me. And I was like, how do I keep that natural glow without packing on a lot of makeup? And that was really important to me. So I'm going to say, ladies, a lot of what we're doing with cosmetics, we can do naturally if we just eat right, because our body is kicking out what we're putting in.
Well, as the old saying goes, you are what you eat.
I know.
It's definitely the truth.
And you are what you drink.
What's that?
And you are what you drink.
Oh, you know what? And they say wine is fine too as well. They said one or two glasses of wine is not a bad thing for you. So it's actually.
And ladies, I'm gonna say I'm right on mark with the health recommendations. I'm having 2 glasses.
Oh, you're gonna do the max, huh?
After the day I have, I'm maxing it. This is a great way to end my day, is to watch your podcast on Fridays, because you're going to be kicking out some information on health, finance, workouts, and relationships. And I think a lot of times as we get older, we're forgetting that all of those things are important. But not only that, you're going to be talking about all the different things that impact you doing this. So you have grandkids. So I just want to say, like, I know for sure you got snacks in the house. So how do you manage that when you're trying to eat healthy and you got to keep all these other things around you?
Discipline. I mean, I definitely try to keep it away, keep it out of sight. So I don't go in the pantry that often. They go, they know that's their spot. So I try to stay out of the pantry. So the pantry's all theirs, or I probably shouldn't let them do it. I'll let them take it up to the rooms. They all have their own bedrooms here, so they're a little spoiled self. So
I'm with you. Out of sight, out of mind. And Gertrude, thank you so much for tuning in again. She says, I agree with you, Christine. Honey, we got to get them 2 glasses. Gertrude, I know you. We taking them glasses in. So, folks, we'll be right back after this commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Gerald's journey to healthy living. People look at him every day and think that he has no issues. He's like I call him the Black Hercules. So there you guys know, that's my secret. I call him that. And I think you should probably get it on a t-shirt, Black Hercules. And the reason why that's because he's the epitome of health. When I look at him, and it wasn't until a couple of months ago when I got a call and I was devastated, because what I was thinking is not that you aren't, but it impacted you in a different way. So folks, we'll be right back after this commercial break so you guys can understand even Black Hercules has some issues, but he still looks amazing. He works out every day. So never stop trying to live a healthy life. We'll be right back. this next segment, I'm excited about. Folks, please leave comments in our comment section. We'll be happy to share. Donna, Gerald's amazing fiance, said, awesome show.
Thank you, honey.
Donna. And by the way, folks, Donna's at home sick. Okay, we're just going to be clear. Donna's the associate producer for this podcast. And Donna, you did a great job preparing him. You see how Donna, he done cleaned up his whole kitchen area.
You noticed, huh?
Donna, you work all that training, all of late nights. Thank you. So, Gerald, listen, before this show even ends, I just want to say thank you so much for trusting me with your brand, coming on the 5F's to Love Network. I mean, this is like your debut. And again, you're like the genie in a bottle. And I wanted to just say thank you again to you because I really appreciate all the time you and Donna put into. It's been a whole month of you guys working towards getting this podcast off. So thank you.
Now, you're very welcome. And I want to thank you, for believing in me, and looking me up and saying, you know what, I got this going on. And guess what? I'd like for you to be part of it. So, Chris, thank you. You're a fantastic person. So I know you for 30 years, guys.
I know. And folks, don't be DMing him, asking him about me.
Longer than most of these people out there know Chris. So guess what? I know her when she was in college.
I know. Like, Drew, you know me the longest next to Cook.
Yep.
Yeah. That's like really crazy to me. Well, Reggie, let me take that back. Reggie, who helped me start this podcast, you guys have known me the same length of time, and both while I was in college, like from college years.
Right.
So Reggie flew out, and that's why I say when you have really good friends, he flew out from Delaware every month to do a live podcast, and that's how we launched 5F's to Love, was with my boy Reggie Dillard, DSU. I just want to keep it real. That's family. And I love his wife and his daughter because they were like, Christine, we got you. And he came out and he helped me launch this live in the studio. So thank you, Reggie. So listen, let's get back to you because I know Reggie's probably watching anyways. So Gerald, you're like the epitome of health. So I'm going in deep now. So can you share how your life has been impacted by high blood pressure? And that's the thing, folks, he has it.
Surprise, surprise. So I have type 2 diabetes, guys. So a lot of people don't realize that I take 2 pills a day. So my blood sugar, just for some reason, my pancreas won't control it properly. The outside looks good, but the inside, there's issues going on as far as the inside is concerned. So they help control that. So I need to do these things. How many years ago? I'm trying to think, probably roughly 6 years ago. Guess what? I had a mini stroke. So yes, arteries got clogged up. I'm in the gym working out. Next thing you know, my face turned sideways, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I'm the biggest macho guy there is. Like, oh, I'm just fine. No, I'm not just fine when my face turns sideways. Right to the doctor. And we're finding out. Next thing you know, I'm doing an EKG. And next thing you know, echocardiograms and all this kind of stuff. And next thing I'm sitting in the surgery, to unblock the clogged artery. Which is unreal. And here I'm working out, Mr. Olympia working out type style. And next thing you know, the inside just shuts me down. High blood pressure, the blood pressure was high. And that's where it initially started, was the high blood pressure. And that's why I was stating about the silent killer, because small signs are there and you just kind of, I'm just a little tired today. No big deal. I just don't feel like working out. Okay, I'm tired. I just don't feel like going to work. Okay, I'm a little tired. You know what? The fatigue is for a reason, because your blood pressure's up. So you just kind of blow it off. You just play it off a little bit. So go to the doctor. Please go to the doctor. I need you to go to the doctor. That's actually the homework assignment. Like,
to go to the doctor.
What's that?
Yeah. The homework assignment is going to the doctor.
Homework assignment is going to the doctor and get your blood work done. So 3 weeks from now, or 4 weeks when we come back around to this next segment, it gives you time to actually go. So please send in the comment section and say, I went. Now, so I'm giving you some time, but definitely.
I went to the doctor.
What's that?
They should put in, I went to the doctor and post their
Just put it. I went to the doctor. That's all. So if you can do that, that's assignment.
So Gerald, one of the things too, the reason why you weren't really kind of registering that this was an issue, you also, not only were you doing your executive work, VP work over at the bank, but you were running a landscaping company. You were remodeling your house. You were taking care of your grandkids, and you just chalked it up to, I'm just tired.
I just chalked it up being tired, fatigue.
And on top of all of that, you were a caregiver of your mom and her husband because they were living with you.
Wow, more than, as I hear you say all that, man, I'm tired now. Just
right. So like you were juggling all of that.
Exactly.
And on top of that, and people don't understand, the reason why I had him come on, because I knew he was managing all of that. And in the midst of all of that, he was cultivating a relationship with the woman he's now going to marry. That's
Right.
a lot.
Yeah.
Like, and you made time for all of this.
Sure did.
And then so this is you. Oh, I just must be tired.
But
Why would you so?
I wasn't paying attention to my body. I wasn't paying attention to the signs. You know, there were
Right.
other signs out there too as well. So you just kind of ignored. And the main thing, you chalked it up to fatigue because I was so busy and all the things you just mentioned. You know, you just thinking, oh, I'm tired. I just need a little nap and just don't feel like doing anything today. Go get checked out, guys. Go get checked out.
Folks, get checked out. So, Gerald, what personal changes have you made to ensure that you're managing your diabetes and your high blood pressure? What changes have you made?
Take my medicine on time. You know, I was truly against medications. I just did not want to take medications. I'm like, oh, you know what? That's for wimps. You know, that macho thing again. Take your medications and take them on time. So every morning I need to take them at the same time, and the evenings I need to take them at the same time. So back to that consistency, just like working out. I want to go in the gym and work out. Well, guess what? I'm consistent with that. I need to be consistent with taking my meds as well. So stay in touch with your doctors. If you have side effects from certain medications, talk to them about it. They'll change it up. You know, there's different type of medication. No, there's not only just one out there. You know,
Right.
medications. There's different side effects for everyone. You know, they affect everyone differently.
Right.
Yeah.
And you did a great job identifying that. I just want to share some before we go. Gerald is genuine. So glad to see you on this platform. Get us get us in check. Thank you so much for watching us and viewing with us tonight. And so Kim Ka says, smoothie for two. Great idea for couples to get healthy together. Great information. Thank you. See, Gerald, I'm telling you, I told you were the genie in a bottle. You're like, to me, the epitome of what people don't understand, long-term living healthy. And the other thing is, because you were so aware of your body,
Exactly.
that made a difference as well. You were like, you know, I'm not really feeling it, but I'm not really sure. And you went and got checked out. A lot of us, and I'll be honest with you, with my schedule, a lot of times I do chalk it up to fatigue. Like, I'm just exhausted.
Well, a lot of this is trial and error. And basically, I've done all the grunt work for you. So they say I'm just trying to bring it to you, you know, so you're not making those errors. You know, that's basically what I'm saying is I don't want you to make those errors. I want you to go right into it, doing it smoothly. Smoothly, get it?
And get the smoothies. And before we go, don't forget, guys, Gerald is asking you guys to please post, okay? Especially on all of our social media sites. You know, I love that you and Galen give these homework assignments, right? And so we're getting bombarded with people doing their homework assignment for Galen. And I'm really excited to see people post their smoothie pics, because it's so important, folks. As African Americans, as minorities, we are at the highest risk for high blood pressure, heart disease, and diabetes. We've got to start doing better. We just have to. And so that's why Gerald is here. We've got to push that cause out. And Gertrude, here you go. She says, thank you for this great information. I do smoothies and learning to improve them more. Thank you so much, Gertrude. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not the best smoothie maker, but I'm making them because Gerald, you know, when he tells me to do something, I do, especially because I'm looking at, he's coming at me from a good place. And he's one of the very few people I allow to pick at me about my weight. And that's why he did that thing, because he actually knows how much I weigh, because I told him, because of what I want to do, right? So if you watch Thursdays, we've got Dr. Campbell on there, and Dr. Campbell's on my butt. Like, he calls me, he's like, Chris, are you jumping rope? What are you doing? And it's great to have all these motivators behind me. If you guys watch Real Talk with the Ladies, or you watch the LGBT, Jessie, her and her husband, they do yoga. Mm-hmm. In the morning as partners. So that motivated me, right? And so Galen gets me to do meditation. So I'm saying, all together, you guys are really keeping me focused on my health, mentally and emotionally, and keeping me on track. Matt called me this morning. Burkhead, what are you doing? Like, you guys are on me, and I like that. So I just want to say, you have to have people who are your accountability partners. Right. And so, Gerald, here's Donna. This is his amazing fiance, by the way, my associate producer, Donna. She says, he's determined, dedicated, and disciplined. The real deal. Oh my God. That should be your slogan. That is so adorable. She's like, he's the real deal. Donna, awesome.
She's fantastic. Trust me.
She is fantastic. So, guys, I want to thank you again for coming in and viewing us another night, 8 to 9 p.m. on the 5S to Love. Gerald, I'll leave you to close out, and then we're going to close out the show. See you guys next week on 60 is the new 40. Oh, Gertrude said, wait, before we go, she said, it's called self-care. you are learning about. You right, Gertrude. That's why Gertrude come on every podcast. I'm going to say Gertrude. See you, Gerald. See you next week.
Okay. I just want to leave you guys with, as I stated, try to do your homework assignment. Please go visit the doctors. It's definitely so important to find out what your numbers are before you even get started with all this stuff. I don't expect it from yourself for you to make a drastic change, in your diet or exercising. Just do baby steps. So if I can get you to do 1 or 2 times out of a week, then we started. So it's so important to get started with the process, and then what we'll do is continue it. So we'll have some consistency in there. So take care of yourself, be blessed, and have a great weekend.